First referee, Mr. Philip Sison, international referee. Second referee, Mr. Lumer Pajarillo, national referee. Let's call on our starting lineup from Our Lady Tamaraws of the Far Eastern University. Wearing jersey number 2, Majorie Rojas. At number 5, Rosemary Vargas. Wearing jersey number 6, Rochelle Maria Winona Bagang. At number 11, Mary Rose Daniel. Team captain is number 12, Giselle C. And at number 15, Gwyneth Eulalio. Libero, number 1, Christine Agno. Head coach, Mr. Nestor Pamilar. Calling on Our Lady Bulldogs from the National University. At number 1, Seaman Desiree Dadang. Wearing jersey number 4, Carmina Aganon. Team captain is number 6, Precious May Salibad. Wearing jersey number 8, Riza Jane Mandapat. Rather, number 9, number 11, Lucelle Byron. And at number 17, Myla Pablo. Libero, number 12, Jan Eunice Shane Galang. Head coach, Mr. Francis John Patrick Vicente. The best of luck to both teams.
There is your starting 5 for, or make that 6 for the Lady Bulldogs and the Lady Tamaraws. And you clearly can see one of the stark facts that stare at you right away. Wala si Kai Nepomuceno for the Lady Bulldogs. So, Coach Francis Vicente and the 6 on the floor for NU will rely heavily on some other names like Myla Pablo, who she's been producing good numbers. They're gonna try and get some from Byron, Lucelle Byron as well. Yeah. So Salibad, the Precious Salibad, the setter, will really have to focus on these other options today without Kai Nepomuceno.
That's right. For the side of FEU, Eric, they're also missing one of their center attackers, Micah Morada.
First point.
So maybe that cancels that factor of missing their let's say star players, no, especially for FEU. The most senior member, Micah Morada, is out. That's why Rojas is taking her spot in the rotation.
And of course, we know Morada to be the #1 option offensively for the Lady Tamaraws. So that's going to be a huge adjustment as well for their setter, Giselle C., who is serving right now at 1-all in set number 1. Dadang has been pretty active as a middle hitter for National University. Pretty effective as well for somebody so young and so new to the system as Byron gets it in the corner.
Byron, she's had games that she really delivered. But again, sabi nga natin, they fell short. Ang dami ring laro nitong NU na sayang. May mga sets silang dapat nakuha. But in the end game, the lack of experience, and sabi nga ni Coach Francis Vicente, they tend to break down during sets. In between those runs, nawawala agad dahil dun sa kakulangan ng experience.
Well, these are all pretty young girls in the new, not new system, but in the system of Coach Francis Vicente, who's in his 2nd year as head coach of National University. While, of course, Nes Pamilar has been the coach of FEU since we've known the Lady Tamaraws and we've covered them. And so far, so good. At 3-3, the FEU Lady Tamaraws, 1-5 itong Lady Bulldogs. Let's usher in the 3rd member of the panel. Speaking for FEU, Bea Coronel.
Thanks, Eric. Well, recognizing how they have not been performing as well as they were during the start of the season, the Lady Tamaraws are at least hoping to come out with a win today to make sure that they have some good going into the all-important 2nd round. However, Coach knows that NU is just as hungry as they are, hoping for their 2nd win, so he motioned his girls to apply all that they have been working on in practice and exhibit aggression and a strong mental game on the floor. And in addition, with former team captain Micah Morada no longer suiting up for the Tamaraws, veterans like Rosemary Vargas, Majorie Rojas, and Giselle C. in particular were told to not only take on leadership roles but also support roles for strength and guidance for the rest of their teammates. Eric and Ian?
All right, thank you, Bea. So indeed, despite the fact that FEU has more wins than NU, there is no shortage of importance to this game for either team.
Yes.
Because for FEU, they lose this, they go down 3 and 4.
That's true. And sabi ko nga, itong second round, dito magkakaalaman as much as, you know, yung magsisimula ka ng second round, maganda yung natansya mo na yung mga kalaban mo. And then you pick the games that you know you have a chance. And for these two teams, this is one of those games na pwedeng-pwede silang makapanalo going to the second round.
FEU was, or make that NU off to a good start here at 4 and 1, but humabol ang FEU, and they're within 2. 5-3. Pablo is blocked, but NU keeping it alive. There's Dadang with a hit. Good rally to start off this set number 1. Pablo. And off speed by FEU. Here comes Pablo again. NU's going almost solely on the offense of Myla Pablo, and she has delivered so far at 6-3 here in set number 1. Let's go to Victor Lopez.
You know, Eric, I'm sure lots of people made New Year's resolution in the beginning of the new year. For the Lady Bulldogs, it was all the same thing. They all had one thing in mind, and that was to end their losing streak and, of course, to start out strong. Now, the girls know that they were being complacent against Adamson, and it resulted in a loss and, of course, a very poor performance in the 4th set. But like Coach Francis told me a while ago, that he wants these girls to get into the culture of winning because he knows how difficult it will be to get out of such a deep hole if they lose today, especially if they want to make it to the Final Four. Now, that being said, the girls obviously have a very tough test in front of them today in the form of FEU, but hopefully they can pull out a win. Eric and Ian.
Thank you, Victor. I've never been into New Year's resolutions. Meron ka ba, Doc, for this year?
Ano yun?
Well, for NU, it's really to come back and bounce back into the season. They don't want to go down 1 and 6.
That's true.
And at 1 and 5, they're looking good here in set number 1 at 7-4.
You know what? It's really nice to go into the latter half or going to the crucial stages of the season na alam mong may pag-asa ka. Ang hirap na sinasabi ni Coach Francis na we've dug ourselves a very, very deep hole, and you know, somehow mawawalan ka na ng gana sa mga latter games. But if they do get this win today, they are in the run, and you want to give it their all during that home stretch here in the second round.
Take a look at this Pablo error at the net.
Straight into the tape.
Almost all of the teams, all the way down to I guess UE, I know at 2 and 5, really have a good fighting chance of making it into, or you know, fighting for a spot in the Final Four. But now, while we're talking about it, while we're at it, let's talk about the chances of UP at 0 and 7 right now.
Wow, UP is going to be very, very tough. That's going to be a long shot or a stretch, a real stretch for UP. But you know, I just want to see them at least win, probably 1 or 2 games, like what they did. Or, of course, that's the goal of every team, to improve your record from the previous season. So, they did good last season. Sana they do a bit better for this year. Wag naman yung
nag-regress. Well, at 0 and 7 right now, there's and still plenty of games. The other half of the season still on the way. There's still plenty of chances for UP to steal a win from any of these teams. There's an error on the side of FEU. NU takes a 2-point lead here in set number 1, 8-6. Back at the arena in San Juan for the first of our Wednesday doubleheader. This is the final game day of your women's volleyball tournament. First round of eliminations, season 74 of the UAAP. Eric Depan, kasama si Doc Ian Laurel, Bea Coronel, and Victor Lopez reporting for FEU and NU, respectively. Now, off the air, we're talking about Maika Murada, and you know, we're trying to extract some more information after that report by Bea that she will not suit up anymore for the Lady Tamaraws. There's head coach Nes Pamilar, and the information, Doc, is?
Yeah, well, I think Maika Murada had... well, she's on her 5th year, so she's just maximizing her eligibility. But she's currently fully employed. So, syempre, it's so hard to mix the schedules of practice and when you're working already. So, like what Bea has mentioned in her report, she won't be suiting up for the FEU Lady Tamaraws. And dun pre-game naman natin, sinabi ni Coach Nes that they've made the adjustment. No need to worry. Rojas will be taking her spot in the rotation. Let's just hope that Rojas can really fill in those big shoes that were left by Maika Murada.
Now, obviously, as the #1 option, Maika Murada, that's a huge loss offensively para dito sa FEU.
Yeah,
Do they still have, I mean, realistically, Final Four hopes?
Well, if you're talking about the offense of Morada, she constantly would bring about 10 to 12 points average in a game. So you missed that already. But more importantly, leadership number one.
Ano?
And blocking. Maika Morada is such an underrated blocker. Kita mo naman, she has good hang time and she reads the block very well because of her experience. Yun ang kailangan punuan nitong mga young players ng FEU. Eulalio's there. Vargas could really take charge of the offense. Alam natin how hard she hits. She just needs more consistency. But the defense should be picked up by Eulalio, Rojas, and even C, being the more senior members of the team right now.
9-8 as FEU takes the lead away from National University. The first taste of the lead for the Lady Tamaraws in this set. Mandapat with the push. Solid block by the Lady Bulldogs. But again, Giselle C finding that opening in the middle.
That's right. And we shall see. We've seen her do this a couple of times before, but this was really perfect. Even, you know, all of the NU defenders, all they could do was just look at that ball touch the floor.
Kahit yung blocker, lumingon din eh. Naipit din ng konti.
Very good. That's nice to see. Eulalio and C really adjusting to set up that double block.
FEU on a bit of a run here as they have stretched out their lead. 11-8 at this point. Let's listen to NU.
Anong gagawin mo? Check out mo. Hindi mo idediretso sa blocker. Magaling ka naman sa ganun eh. Naintindihan. Ikaw naman, ang bola umu-over na. Anong gagawin mo sa ilalim? Maabangan mo. Eh dinudukduk na nga eh. Di gawin mo, abangan mo rin sa ibabaw. Huwag kang makialam sa ilalim. Pakialam mo yung ibabaw. Kanina pa sinasabi, tanim nyo naman sa utak ninyo. Gamble nyo na yun, oh. Sabi ko, abangan nyo yung gano'n na setter eh. Ayun nyo.
Francis Vicente pointing out the obvious several times as you look at Mark Molina of FEU.
Busy texting.
At hinahanap niya kung makapabalik niya pa si Maika Morada.
Or you not? Labo.
Yung pinapoint out ni Coach Francis Vicente is the fact that every time NU blocks, they can't seem to keep the ball alive kung bumalik sa kanila yung bola, no? And he wants to correct that before things go out of hand. Pero right now, FEU, Doc with a 4-point lead, 12 serving 8.
Also, Coach Francis mentioning that if you're an attacker like Mandapat and you see that the block is set up, pa-check mo na. And that's an option. You can't always parang hataw ka lang ng hataw, palo ka lang ng palo, going at one direction all the time. So, kailangan meron ka ring konting diskarte to hit it off the block or swipe it off the block. Just like that one.
Simple for Bagang, Richelle Bagang, who hit the ball from the bottom. Actually, tingnan nyo rito, nasa ilalim siya ng bola, no? When
right.
she actually hit it. Pero napatama niya sa blockers.
That's true. And that's all you want. At that you're given a short set close to the net. There's no way that you can get a good angle or a sharp angle to that ball. So talagang patama ka sa block. She did exactly that and she got the point.
Bagang trying it again, but to no avail on the second attempt. But Aganon lucky to get it off the blockers. Ito yung gusto matutunang trick.
That's true.
Ni Coach Vicente sa kanyang mga players.
Also, Rojas was called for a net touch. There you see. So, yan yung sinasabi natin how important Maika Morada's blocking is. She's such an intimidating presence in that middle blocking position.
Diesta comes in for Pablo.